Hi, everybody. We're almost to the end of the year, the second to last Oracle card reading we're doing. Yay! All right. Well, if you haven't done this before, I'm Leanne Holitza. I'm going to give you an Oracle card reading for the week of December 21st. We are going to use the Yantra deck to start us off, and then I'm using the Sacred Symbols deck, which is going to be giving you a little hint on the when you type me please in the comments, you will get your own card. We will start off with our collective reading with the Yantra deck, and then we'll build on it with a 1, 2, 3, which is where you'll tune in, whether you're watching later or live. That'll be your first personal card. Then we will go through the Sacred Symbol deck, doing the me pleases as I have them on the list of comments. And if we get 3 times the charm, it will mean that there's a message for all of us in that. So stay till the end if you can, because there's lots of juice to be had about what's going on this week. All right, let's get going. Happy solstice. Guess I should announce that there is still an intentions and affirmations class on December 28th. That's going to be where we go through and set up the first 6 months with our intentions and our affirmations for the year of 2026. Yeah, there's still room in that, and there's virtual and in-person spots. Okay, let's get going. All right, so the acceptance card upside down. So we're starting off this week with a kind of almost like a single irritant. I always see this card as like the princess and the pea. There's just one thing, might be a big thing, but it's something that's just irritating. And maybe it is somebody else or something else, or maybe it's something inside of you. Always it's something for you to work internally on. So just be aware of that and give yourself a chance to just acknowledge what can you not accept and why. All right, and then the helper card for the week is to try and stay anchored in the present time. So this card says now, but it's sideways. So things to actively anchor. Stop, ground. Stop, check in with your body. Stop, take some deep breaths, whatever it is, but to do some active present moments. I also like to imagine a beautiful infinity symbol magnet above my head, calling my energy back from all directions of time and space, getting cleansed up here, and then just dropping into the present time. Something to try. All right. And then upside down at the end, we're kind of feeling disconnected. Ooh, seems like a little bit of a crunchy energy going into a holiday week where a lot of people might be gathering. But this card kind of reminds you, yeah, you might feel lonely, you might feel separated, you might feel like you're struggling a bit. And it's important to acknowledge that, you can take care of yourself and stay anchored in the present time. Try not to tell yourself any bigger stories than what is actually happening. All right, now let's see 1, 2, 3. Okay, so tune in. This is your first card. 1, 2, 3. Which one is yours? 1, 2, or 3? Okay, if you picked 1, you're working with death. Okay, now this can be endings of sorts. It can be all kinds of things. It doesn't have to necessarily be that someone or something dies. But it's also kind of acknowledging the endings of things, immortality of things. Nothing lasts forever. What also needs to come to an end, what boundaries need to be set, that kind of thing. All right. If you picked 2, you're working on your power. Okay. So acknowledging that there might be some power leaks, especially with this acceptance issues that are going on, and where you might want to put yourself in awareness of where you're leaking power, especially mentally. Okay. And then if you picked 3, you're working on growth. Always a good growth spiral. So the spiral healing energy tends to be old trigger, old response, desire to change your response, creates a new way of looking at things, creates a new way of reacting to things. That's kind of the simplification of the healing spiral. Okay. All right. Let's get going on the me pleases. If you are hanging out and you haven't typed me please and you want a card, feel free to type me please in the comments. That is how you will get a card. We're going to start at the top with Kelly and Matthew. Kelly, you're working with friendships. Okay. Now, this is a good time to connect with the people who you really feel supported with, and to acknowledge where there's people who, ask a lot of you and ask you to hold a lot of the weight, that where it's maybe time to say to, this is an imbalanced relationship and I'm going to step away and either let it balance itself or let it walk away, because sometimes it's better to do that. Okay. All right. Matthew, you're going to work on what's being veiled. Okay. So you're self-included. If you're veiling something, if you're keeping something hidden, this is going to be looking for the things that maybe aren't necessarily in plain sight, but they're intentionally being hidden or manipulated to be seen a certain way. Be on the lookout for that, especially with that now card this week saying stay anchored in the present time. See what's really there. Be willing. Kara, you're working on staying grounded. Okay. So anchor in this week for as best you can every single day before you leave the house. Do it again before you change scenery, whatever it is, just kind of check in with that grounding energy and do the 5 tools of protection. I know you know how to do it. So do those tools so you can get yourself really centered for what's going on this week. Tatiana, you are going to transmute. What that actually means is that you cannot change what's happened. You can't change what is going on, but you can turn it into something else. Okay. So the snake sheds his skin when he needs to grow. He lets go of the old. The old was still there. The old did things for them, but now we're changing. So this is like accepting what is, but moving into making it something better. Think of it like if you took flour and eggs and sugar and you put it all together and you put it in the oven, you're transmuting the flour, eggs, and sugar into a cookie. Okay? Butter. All right, Kai, you are working with the talisman. All right. So this basically is saying look for the symbols from the universe around you. Like look for things that are giving you hints about how you're moving forward. Okay. So if you see a little bird in the sky and you notice it, that might be a little hint that something good is happening. Or if you find a little penny, good luck, that kind of stuff. Look for that this week. Okay. Kenzie, you are working with death. Okay. So if you picked one at the beginning, this is just you getting a double down message. And this is the second time we've seen it, guys. So have your ears perked up. We might be seeing it more. But what I'm hearing is that some things just need to put to bed. Some things just need to end at this point. It's okay to let them go. It is time to go into, the next layer of things. As something ends, it makes room for some beginnings. Okay. So let some things end. It's okay. Seriously wonderful. Courtney, you're working with your divinity. Okay. So I'm hearing from your guides that twofold: internal divinity, external divinity. Connect them both inside of you. You are the expression of the divine this week. So being in touch with that, what does that mean? Who do you want to bring light and love to, and who brings light and love to you, and how can you kind of expand that this week? Okay. Stephanie R. Oh, you got release. Okay. So the knife is just saying, cut the cords, cut the attachments, cut the things that are holding you back, the ropes that are holding you back. Just don't let him hold you back anymore. It's not helping you or serving you to kind of revisit the hot stove. So just stop looking at the things that are hurting you. Move on into other places. Okay. Tiff, your guides are indicating third time's a charm, death. Okay. I'm going to pull the book up just to see if the author of this book, which is Marcella Kroll, just to see if she has something else to say that I haven't heard from the guides. It's always good. Since this is third time's a charm, everybody listen up. Okay. So the skull and the rose symbolize all that is sacred in life and death. The noticeable end of a cycle or situation, grieving or mourning a loss in order to heal. It's time to watch an old way leave itself in the past, allowing feelings of grief and sadness to move through you with ease. Meditate on this when you want to honor an ending, a loss, or letting go in your life with grace. Without death, there is no life, and vice versa. Okay, so let yourself acknowledge that you are ending something. Third time's a charm for us all. So we're all ending something apparently this week. So put it to rest. Mountain River and Tommy. Boundaries for you, Mountain River. Put some boundaries up. Okay, so this week really focusing on that healthy boundaries, acknowledging other people's boundaries, learning that boundaries aren't necessarily hurtful, but when you need to say, I'm not taking that on for you, that's okay. That's your issue you need to handle, and you want to make me the object of your projections. That's okay. I'm gonna let you handle that yourself, kind of thing. Okay. Tommy, what's being veiled for you? Second time we've seen this one, you guys, so maybe perk up. Might be third time's a charm. What's being hidden? What are you hiding? What do you need to really look at? What needs to be really released and be seen for the truth this week? Okay, look into it. Elizabeth R. Okay, new life. All right. The Ankh is the key. It's the symbol of unlocking your life force energy. So this week, do the things that help you unlock your life force energy. Just really go forward with just allowing yourself to feel vital, feel youthful, feel open the best you can, okay? Whatever makes you feel that way. Diane S., you've got divinity. Second time we've seen that, you guys. So this might be a third time thing. Perk up. Where can you see the divine in all things? Where are you the divine? How can you be the merging of the divine with the physical form? Okay, so wherever you can do that this week, that's a focus. Hannah H., work with the divine feminine. Okay, so the divine feminine has a respect for cycles. She cycles, every month. She has beginnings and ends. When something needs to take longer, she gestates things. So really work with what the divine feminine means for you this week. Be in touch with it. Do things maybe to honor it. Maybe get yourself a little goddess pendant or something to keep you really anchored into that divine feminine energy and the cycles. All right, National Geographic, happy solstice. You are working with soulmate, okay? So this energy is very much talking to me about the fact that there might be people who you are meant to partner with and that there was a deep connection to that you are being asked to kind of revisit. Go back into looking to where those connections have come. Some of them have long standing. They've been there forever. You just need to go back and revisit them. This week is focusing on those people who just feel like you've known them forever and really touch into that. Okay. Eli K., you're working with the divine masculine. Okay, so the divine masculine is the action, is the day-to-day, think more like short cycles rather than monthly or yearly cycles. This is working with the do, the action, sometimes things need to be destroyed and cleared away first to get done. So focusing on really taking action this week and being single focused on your activities. Janelle and Donnie. Janelle, you're getting 2. You've got healer and you got guides. Woohoo! So work with your inner healer and work with your guides this week. Really listen to them and see yourself as the healer. I mean, just put your hands on yourself if you need to and just say, I would like to give myself healing energy. That's always, something to just try. You don't have to be necessarily activated in anything. I mean, it's always helpful to go get Reiki training or energy awareness training, but you don't necessarily have to in order to be the healer that you already are. Donnie, you are working with past lives. Okay, so this might be a week for you and Janelle to be working together on remembering your ancient healer abilities, the abilities that you already know, that you saw there was a pyramid in that card. You might go and looking into Egyptian magic and see if anything kind of resonates with you and makes you feel alive and truthful. Okay. And, everybody's so practical and wants to be so, linear about this has to make sense. It doesn't. It doesn't have to make sense. It can just be for fun until its magic shows up. And then when the magic shows up, just affirm it. Okay, Taryn, some protection for you this week, okay? So some divine protection, some requests for divine protection, acknowledging your own protection. This isn't necessarily even indicating that there's a threat. It's just might be self-preservation. We've been working in my beliefs club about upgrading the martyr, which, strips themselves down for everyone else. I'll do it all for you, until I'm exhausted. We up level the martyr archetype into the mother or queen, or if you want to go masculine, king, father. The difference between the martyr strips themselves down and the mother or the queen is that they have some self-preservation. They understand they have to help keep the kingdom running. They can't just drag themselves into the mud. So this week, the protection might be just that you set boundaries to not dragging yourself through the mud. Okay. All right. Kimberly P. and Juan Carlos. Kimberly, you got the talisman. Second time we've seen that, you guys. This is indicating, look for the signs. Look for the divine numbers. What time is it? It's 12:16 my time right now. So maybe go look up what 12:16, gotta love Google these days, right? Type in divine number meaning of 12:16. Like, just really do some getting in touch with signs and symbols and see what the universe is trying to say to you through that. Okay. Juan Carlos, past life for you too. Okay. You and Donnie can get together in the Egyptian past life. Okay. So whatever it is that you were focusing on, in this present life might have some wisdom coming from the past. Check into it, see what you feel. Go see what kind of history you resonate with. That could tell you something about where you've been and what you already know. Okay. Christy R. You're lucky this week. Woohoo. All right. So feel lucky. I know it's easy sometimes to get, especially this time of year, it's so easy to get into like the self-pity, see where things are kind of out of balance. Definitely been there myself a little bit. So I get it. And you're going to be lucky this week. Denise, you got water. All right. So working with the water. All right. So whatever that means to you, but water is very programmable. Okay. So if you give your water a hello, you put your hand over it and just say, I would like to provide myself with low blood pressure, or I'd like to provide myself with feeling it revitalized, whatever it is, that water will then take that hint. And then you just, drink it and infuse yourself. Okay. Work with your water, baths, showers, whatever ways that you can use with the water element. Water element's also about emotional energy, so letting them flow. Sister Janice of Janelle. Full moon is going to be what you're going to be wanting to work on. This is completion of cycles. This is when you really, full light is shining on something. We just had a new moon, so you're not actually going into the full moon yet. But do think about if we just had the new moon, what cycle is building for you that you would want to come to fruition by the time the full moon gets here. Okay. Focus on that this week. Lisa C. You got spiritual cleansing. Okay. So this week would be a good week to get going on just really seeing where your spirit has gotten weary, where it might have been felt bogged down, overly responsible for other people. Sometimes when you're building community energies, people try to dump stuff at your feet and say, you should take care of this. And I am telling you that is a lovely sentiment and not true. That comes from that old, like, come light a candle, at the church kind of thing. Leave your woes to God or your deity, and just know that you're not the deity yourself. You are expression of divine for sure, but it shouldn't be a burden for you to take on. Okay. So hopefully whatever that message just was for you resonated, because that was a big message from your guides. Okay, Miranda, you are transmuting. Okay, so we talked about this earlier, like the cookies. You take the flour, the butter, the eggs, the sugar, put them all together, put them in the oven, they turn into a cookie. You're taking things from your life, not trying to say that they didn't happen, but you're just saying they did happen, and I'm transforming them into something. Okay, so like, I'm an intuitive healer because I have lived a very sensitive life. I've been very sensitive my whole life. And how do I turn it into something useful to me? I become an energy healer. That's kind of transmutation. Okay. All right. Robin, Chris, and Austin. Robin. Ooh, You got affluence. I love this symbol. This is my favorite. I put this on my door. This symbol very much says that everything around you is building energy. Okay. So the single triangle is the self, the other, and we are able to be something more than we weren't able to be when we were separate. Okay. So think father, mother, child, right? Whatever the child is, but there's many, many children in this. You're building and building and building. This is like generational building. This is like noticing where you're so lucky, noticing where you have so much, influence, and be sure to share it. Okay. Grow the things you want to grow. Chris, you got soulmate energy. Okay. Second time we've seen this. Who are those people in your life that you just know are meant to be there? Lean into those relationships, nurture them, touch base with them. Don't let them feel neglected during this time period. Okay. Austin, you are being asked to meditate this week. Okay. Pretty straightforward message. Not sure if there's much to add there, but finding a way, even if it's just 3 minutes a day, finding a way to come down in, acknowledge, breathe, and be here. Okay. All right, Max. You are working with the element of air. Okay. Letting things blow through. Okay. So this very much is allowing your energies to be, like you can't grab air. You need air. Air feeds you. But you can't grab it. So this is an energy of letting yourself acknowledge that things are passing through, that not everything is, going to be tangible, but yet it does keep you life force moving. Okay. So work with the element of air. You can work with the element of air by opening your windows when it's really windy, like it has been. Oh my goodness. In Colorado, at least, you can go outside and just let the wind take it all, that kind of stuff. Okay. Heidi M. If you guys are still hanging out and you haven't typed me, please do. We have only gotten one card that's 3rd time's a charm so far. Second time we've seen power, though. So Heidi, if you picked 2 at the beginning, this is doubling down. Where are you in power? Where are you not in power? Where are you leaking your power out mentally, emotionally, letting other people make you feel responsible for them because it's just more convenient for them to dump it onto you? Look out for that stuff. That seems to be a big message this week, you guys. All right. I have gotten to the ends of the list that I can see. My husband and my children are together headed to a football game at the moment. Not sure if they're actually listening, but if they are, or if they aren't, they can listen later. Let's give them a card. Okay. So Matt is going to work with affluence. Woohoo. Second time we've seen that. So that's a good little reminder. Your connections, you have lots of influence. People know who you are, like who you are, that kind of thing. Use that this week. 3rd time's a charm for the talisman from Mason. Okay, so I'm going to read this one for us. Mason's brought us this so it's a message for all of us. So everybody listen. Okay. The symbol is the skeleton key, which is often used in magic symbolically to move from one place in life to another. It's also one of the many symbols of the goddess I always say her wrong. Hecate. Okay, you guys. Hecat. I know how to say it. It's just I'm getting stage fright. When worn as the talisman or charged with intention, the key can free us from our self-imposed cages and move us through the next part of the journey by opening new doors to opportunity. Okay, I see Tanya B too. Okay. The talisman represents new doors opening for you now. New pathways are present at this time. So we got to have the death card that closes things. New pathways. Okay. It also invites you to find and create a charge of an appropriate symbol, amulet, or mantra to help support your current endeavors or healing. Empower the talisman with your intention and invoke its magic in your everyday life. Meditate with this card to act as a powerful road opener for new adventures or opportunities to discover hidden talisman of power, love, and peace. Okay. Okay. Now it's gonna drive me crazy on that word, that name. I know her. I can even see her card in my head from the other deck. Okay, it's fine. This is for Jack. Jack, a little stormy for you, okay? So this is about weathering the storms this week. Sit in your boat. Let the storms brew. Don't let the storms make up all of your stories, though. Make sure that you give yourself a chance to say, that's just a story for right now, and it will change, okay? All right, Tanya B. Third time's a charm for the veiled, you guys. I knew we were going to get to more than one. Okay, so I'm going to read it for us all. Okay, Tanya B in particular, but all of us listen in the messages that we've had. Masks from various cultures to culture and are used to adornment altered states of consciousness, ritual, or disguise. All is not being revealed at this time. Is someone around you hiding or holding back information or an aspect of themselves? Please use caution in proceeding, or perhaps the mask is inviting you to be more protective of what you share. Draw another card for clarity in your next right action. You can meditate on the mask to achieve altered states, awareness, or encourage hidden abilities to rise to the surface of consciousness. Let's do it, you guys. Let's pull one more card and see what's being veiled and wants to be revealed. The element of water. Okay, this makes sense to me because there's been a lot of messages from the Light Council about the 3-1 Atlas, 3-eye Atlas comet that's coming through that's got close, doing some programming to our water, that kind of thing. So check in with what your emotional veils are and what you could maybe be more protective of and maybe be more aware of other people's need to protect. Okay, so here is your summary of the 3 times the charm cards. Ready? We got the talisman. Look for signs, open doors, program something that you can wear or meditate on to help you see what's your next pathway. Next pathways often requires, though, that you let things in, close doors that need to be closed so you can find your next way to go. Notice what you want to protect, what you want to veil, especially emotionally. All right, work with the water. All right, you guys, next week we will get together and do both the final week. Well, it'll be close to, there'll be a week and then a little bit of the week and then into the new year, but we'll also do the new year readings and things next week. So do join me again at noon on Sunday. All right, you guys, go be amazing. I'll see you later.